Hello, hello. Welcome to Underthinking, the channel where I don't think I'm always overthinking. I think that some other people are just underthinking. This is a mindset channel. I talk about psychology, philosophy, mental health, and a lot of mindset over here. And I really hope that you're subscribed if you enjoy any of those topics. And my name is Katie. If you don't know me, I do have a travel and lifestyle channel here on YouTube as well, but this is my brand new mindset channel. I really hope that you guys are enjoying it so far, and I really do hope that you are subscribed. So in today's video, I actually want to ask you guys a question because the topic that I'm going to bring up, I think that I know my opinion on, but I really want to hear your opinions as well so that I can form an even stronger opinion. And that's going to be what I do on this channel sometimes, right? Because I'm going to share ideas. I'm going to share my opinions based on my experiences and my thoughts, but I also really do always want to hear your opinions and your thoughts and then have conversations and then potentially have future videos with my thoughts and with the thoughts that you shared with me, because here's the thing about me, I'm always okay being wrong. I'm always okay learning. I'm always okay admitting if something that I said in the past I don't really agree with anymore. I'm totally okay with admitting those things because how else am I going to learn and grow as a person? And so when I share these things, I really want to hear your comments, hopefully respectfully and kindly, but I do want to hear your comments and, see if I can learn from them or just see, okay, no, I do stick with my own opinions, but just have chats with you guys about it. So this particular topic that I want to bring up, I do have my own opinions on, but I'm very curious about your opinions as well. So the topic is going to be goals. I'm going to talk about goals a lot on this channel. I think it is so important to have goals in our lives. I really, really do, whether they're big, small, personal, professional, whatever. I think it's very important to have goals. And soon I am going to have a whole series about how to make a goal, how to write it out, how to start it, how to keep it going, stuff like that. But I'm also going to have a bunch of other videos talking about goals as well. And that's this one. So the idea of this video, this intro is getting long, Katie. Okay. The idea of this video is the main topic, the main headline is, are all goals possible? And my opinion on that is yes, but. Yes, but, okay? I think that it has to actually be a laid out goal. And I also think that the person who's making this goal has to be open to the idea that it might not look exactly how they think they want it to. But also, I really always want to remind you guys that I try to choose my words as carefully as possible. I do mess up sometimes, but when I say possible, I don't mean definitely going to happen. I just mean possible. If you guys watched a video from a week or two ago where I talked about New Year's resolutions, the difference between a resolution and a goal is a resolution is a vague idea of I want to get healthy, for example, but it's just an idea that you have in your head of something that you might want to change. A goal is actually putting steps to it and actually explaining it and breaking it down. So the resolution might be, I want to lose weight, but the goal would be something similar to, I want to lose 10 pounds, and here are the 4 steps that I'm going to take to do it. And here's maybe the timeline that I have, and here are the sacrifices I'm going to make. Here's the food I'm going to eat. Here's the gym membership I'm going to get, stuff like that. It's more planned out. And so if we are asking this question, are all goals possible? If we're asking that in terms of resolutions or ideas or things that we want to do, no, absolutely not. Those things are all not possible, because I might have an idea right now. I would love to marry Andy Samberg. I can't do that. He's married. Okay. That cannot be a goal. That idea cannot be turned into a goal because it is actually not possible, out of my control. Okay. There are going to be some things that are out of our control, but there are going to be a lot of things that are within our control. And I think that it takes a very honest person to admit what they can control and what they can't. Because my opinion is that sometimes we as a collective society will sometimes say, I can't do that, that's not possible, when in reality it is. It just would take a lot of hard work and discipline and a switch of focus and sacrifice. But it's easier to say, I can't do that, that's not possible. It's easier to say, that's not within my control. However, there are obviously definitely things outside of our control. If I slip on the sidewalk and break my ankle, that second that it's broken, it is not within my control to just be no, it's not broken. I can't do that, okay? But there are a lot of things within our control. Going to the doctor, getting it wrapped up, and maybe going to physical therapy, staying off of it, stuff like that, that is within our control. I'm not saying it's always easy, right? What if you don't have health insurance, all that kind of stuff? But you guys know what I mean. There are some things that are within our control. They might still be really difficult and really, really, really scary or really expensive, but they're within our control versus some things that just happen. And I think that admitting those things is really powerful. Like, we take some of our power back. And I understand that a lot of people don't admit certain things that they're capable of or that can actually happen because it's scary, because they don't want to sacrifice, they don't want to put the effort in, because they're comfortable and they love their comfort zone. But you know what? I really do think that you take a little bit of power when you realize what you're capable of. God is in full control. That is my total 100% belief. However, we still have to put the effort in. We still have to put the work in. And so when we're talking about goals, especially goals versus resolutions, or goals, which ones are possible, I believe that if you have an idea, a resolution, say, if you have an idea of something that you think sounds good, that either you want to do, that you think sounds really cool to do, that you kind of start to feel in your gut, you know what, I actually really think that this would be a good idea for my life, or something that you know is practically healthy or a good idea or lines up with your morals, things like that. Once you have the idea, turning it into a goal takes a few steps. And so something like, if I have the idea of wanting to marry Andy Samberg and I want to do it in June, that's wildly unrealistic and very much out of my control. Not only because he's a famous person I've never met, but he's married, okay? That's out of my control. I am not going to marry Andy Samberg in June. That's not going to happen. But if we're talking about another idea, I want to start flipping houses. If that's an idea that you have in your head, having that idea, if you only keep it as an idea, I want to flip houses. I want to flip houses. You know what? It's probably not possible if you only keep it as an idea. So if the whole idea of this video is, are all goals possible? If you keep the goal as an idea, then it's not technically a goal. And then no, I don't think that they're all possible. Resolutions, ideas, no, I don't think they're all possible. But I think that once it turns into a goal, then I do believe that they are all possible. Again, especially if you are open to tweaking it here and there once you're kind of on the path of your goal. So to turn the idea into the goal, you have to see if it's actually something within your control. So me marrying Andy Samberg, not really within my control. If he was single, that's a different story, okay? If he was single, that's a different story. But if there's something, I'm trying to think of something that's completely out of your control, because I do believe a lot of things are within our control. But if there's something completely out of your control, or that has to involve other people. So if your goal is, I want to meet someone this week and get married this year, that is not fully within your control. However, there are still a lot of steps that you can take personally. Because if you say, I want to meet someone this week, I want to start dating someone this week, you can start going to bookstores. You can start walking around the mall. You can go on dating apps. You can go to a bar. You can try to talk to people at work. You can talk to your friends. Hey, do you have any single friends that you might know that you might want to set me up with? You can take steps. Getting married in the summer or whatever might not be fully under your control, but you can still take the steps to hopefully meet that person. You can put yourself out there. You can work on your mental health. You can work on your communication, your emotional availability. You can work on those things to get yourself ready to meet someone and then get yourself ready to be a good partner in a marriage. You can work on those things, but having like the strict timeline or the exact type of person that you want to meet on this exact day might not be fully in your control because it also has to do with other people. But there are lots of goals that are not fully within your control, but way more within your control, way more. For example, starting a business. If you want to start a business where you go to consignment stores and you purchase things and you resell them online, that's up to you. So yeah, is it kind of up to also, oh, that Goodwill stock today was really bad? Yeah. And is it also up to finding the people to purchase your things? Yeah. But you have to put all that effort in first. And you can put all that effort in first. So having the idea, I want to start reselling things online. If you only keep it as an idea and you don't think, okay, is it possible? Is it something that a lot of it is within my capabilities and my control? Again, maybe not all of it, but a lot of it. And is it something that is possible to do? Is it something that is within my morals, my values? Is it something that lines up with my lifestyle? And then the next step after that is to actually break it down into a goal. So if you want to start a resale shop online somewhere, if you just want to even start your own website and you want to resell clothes, how do you start? You break it down into a goal, which again, I'll talk really more in depth about in another video. But really the quick way of explaining it is you break that goal down into steps and then you break those steps down into even smaller steps. And so your initial outline might be, I want to go to Goodwill, and then you might do some research on 5 other secondhand clothing shops around you. You make a list of those. You want to go to those, and then you tell yourself, here's my budget for the first month. I have $500 that I can go buy things. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to get my website. I'm going to get my domain name. And then also here's how I'm going to advertise. And then you just break all that stuff down. So then it's a goal, right? Then it's like, okay, I'm going to start doing this. And then once you start, you're like, yes, this is my goal. Once it's a goal like that, I do believe that it's possible. And the main reason that I believe personally, and I would love to get your opinion on this, the main reason why I believe that goals fail, the main reason, not the only reason, but the majority of the time, I would say that goals fail, I would say that it's because the person gave up. That's my opinion on that. I'm sure that we can all share an idea that we had, that we turned into a goal and that we started, but it didn't work out. And if we're really honest with ourselves, we can be like, yeah, it didn't work out because of something that I did, because I gave up when it got hard, because I got scared, because I prioritized something else. Maybe it was even an okay idea. Maybe you don't regret it, but maybe something else happened. So I'm not even saying it's a bad thing when these goals don't work out, but I'm still saying that maybe it was still something that was within your realm of choosing and your realm of control. Maybe. Again, not always. Like, for example, I had a crochet business for like a year and a half. And I had to stop because I developed tendinitis, and it got so bad that it hurts a lot. It hurts every single day. I don't talk about it a lot, but it hurts every single day. And crocheting is what caused it. And crocheting made it worse. So I made the choice. It still was a choice, but I made the choice to stop crocheting because it hurt my hand so much that I developed tendinitis and I might actually need surgery one day. So I was like, okay, what's more important? Crocheting blankets or helping my hand because I have tendinitis? I made the choice that helping my hand and that my health was more important than crocheting. And so I chose not hurting my hand over crocheting. However, there are going to be some times that some things are going to hurt and you're still going to do them. Like going to the gym. Going to the gym, if that's your goal, you want to go to the gym 5 days a week, sometimes it's going to hurt, but you're still going to work through it. It is still just all you deciding, you knowing what's best for you, what's right for you, what type of pain to push through, and what type of pain is like, nope, this is not a good idea for me. You might have another goal. You might have a goal to like learn how to ride the unicycle. And you know what? You might get a unicycle and you might start taking lessons or meet someone else who does it, who might teach you or watch some videos online. And after a couple weeks, you might be like, I hate this. And you might be like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like it. I don't need to learn it. There's no bigger reason. I just wanted to try it. I wanted to see if I liked it, and I don't like it. So I'm done now. I'm quitting. And I think quitting and giving up are different. At least how I see them. Quitting is like deciding this is not right for me. This is not good for me. It's not healthy for me. It does not line up with my morals or anything like that. It's like a choice to quit because you just decided that it's not what's best for you. I think giving up is a little bit more like it got hard, you got scared, you got overwhelmed, and you let those emotions overpower you. So instead of it being like a choice, it was more like you kind of like let it overpower you so much and you kind of freaked out and you stopped. That's kind of how I see it. And so I think that if you have a goal and you want to quit because you realize it's not right for you, you realize that it's like taking your time away from your main priorities, you realize it's not healthy, anything like that. And if you make a choice to quit, I think that's okay. I think that that's really okay if you make it a choice to quit because you know you actually have real reasons. But I also don't think that that means that it's not possible for it to succeed. I think that it just means that you made a choice to not continue with it because you know it's not right for you. But I still do believe that all goals can be accomplished. And I think that most people can reach their goal. But again, it also might look differently. So you might go into a goal. I want to grow a resale business. Let's go back to that. You might get into that. And you might work at it for years and only sell a couple things. And you might be like, why am I even doing this? I don't want to do it anymore. It's not working. It's not working. And you might want to give up because you're not getting the results that you hoped. And I think that it's very easy. If we put a timeline on something, it's very easy to want to give up. Because first of all, our timing is not the same as God's timing. And especially when it's in terms of selling something or something like that, we do have to rely on other people. And so a timeline might make sense, and it might be good to have a timely goal. Like for some things, I have a goal to write a book and I know when I'm going to finish that book. So certain things, when it's only on us, I know when I'm going to finish writing that book. But I don't have a goal necessarily of how many sales I want to do, which I'm not even saying is bad. You can have goals like that. But I'm talking about if they're possible or not. I think me finishing my book by the day that I set out to finish it is possible. Could something happen where there's another priority that overpowers it? Yes. If I get really sick, if someone I know has an emergency, something like that, yes, 100%. But besides those like really rare circumstances, generally, if it's a goal that just has to do with you, I want to finish writing a book. That is possible. That's possible. But if you're like, I want to sell 1,000 within the first week, you can still put work into that. But those kind of goals are the only ones that I'm going to say are not 100% always going to happen. However, I do still think that they're possible. I think that they're definitely possible. And especially if you have that kind of goal, you're going to be a little bit more likely to put in the work to make that number actually exist and actually happen. But there are just going to be some times that you start a goal, like the resale business, right? And that you do it for years and you barely have any sales and you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I want to encourage you if something like that happens, if you still feel in your gut that you love it, that you think that you can do it, that you believe in yourself, that you really think it's something good for you, that you want to be in that industry and you want to work at it, please don't stop. Please don't quit or give up. Please keep going. Again, if there's other priorities, if it's taking up way too much time and you're not making money and you have to put that time towards something else, I get that. But if you have the time to work on this business and you're just kind of considering quitting because it's not working, but in your gut, you feel like it's right for you and you know that it's something right for you, please don't give up. When I started YouTube, my main channel, my travel lifestyle channel, I made videos 2 to 3 times a week for about 3 or 4 years before I really made any money. Like, I think for the first few years, I actually can look. I think the first 3 years combined, I made a couple $100, maybe. I can look and I can tell you in a future video, but it was a very, very small amount of money. It was maybe a couple dollars a month that I was making, essentially. And I was putting out 2 videos a week, 2 to 3 videos a week, recording, editing, posting, all that kind of stuff, 2 to 3 videos a week for years. And I maybe was making a couple dollars a month. I never gave up. I never even thought to. I never thought to quit. I never thought to give up. I never thought any of that. I just kept going. I remember vividly being stuck at 4,000 subscribers, which is still so many people. And like, I was still so grateful for it. But again, I was not making money really with 4,000 subscribers and the few hundred views my videos were getting, just like this channel. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. On this channel, I'm making $0 on this channel. My main channel is my main job. That does pay for my bills. My views on my main channel have drastically decreased. I'm being honest with you. There have been some months that it has been hard for me to pay my bills with just that channel. That is one of the reasons I wanted to start this second channel and that I'm doing other things, because I know for me, I'm like, I'm not going to quit that channel right now. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to keep trying to grow it again. And I'm going to start doing other things. But I just do want to be honest with this channel that you're watching right now. I'm making $0 from you watching this video. Something like growing a YouTube business, it could take someone a couple months and they could blow up. Of course, you hear stories like that. There's also way more stories that there's someone who made videos for years and they never really blew up. Or they blew up a little bit, maybe. But here's the thing. I only see it as a true failure if you're like, I really want to do this, but it's not working, so I'm just going to give up. I think if you really want to do it, keep doing it. Keep doing it. And again, if there's some other real reason where continuing to do it is not healthy for you anymore, or there's another priority that you have to focus on, okay, that's totally understandable. But I just hope that you don't give up because it got hard, or because your channel hasn't grown yet, or because you're not making as much money as you wish. But you love it, but you're just not making the money. You love it, but it's not growing as you wanted. You love it, but it's kind of getting confusing or overwhelming. I hope that you don't give up. I really hope that you don't give up. And so that's why the whole idea of like, are goals possible? I think all goals are possible. But if you give up, you'll never know. And so again, if you have a goal of a numbers goal or a time goal, or if they like involve other people, I still think that those are possible 100%. But I don't think that those are always exactly going to happen in the exact way that you think. And the last thing I want to mention, especially if you're talking about a goal that has to do with other people, or even one that has to do with yourself, it is good to have really strict guidelines, while also understanding that certain things outside of your control might happen. So again, if you have a numbers thing, if you're like, I want to write this book and then I want to sell 1,000, you might write the book and then realize that the way that you're advertising it, you're not even reaching 1,000 people, let alone selling it to 1,000 people. So you might have to pivot. And I think that's a really important thing when you're setting goals and when you're working on goals, is understanding when you need to pivot. Because there are going to be some times where if you're like, nope, I already made this goal and I'm going to completely stick with all of these steps that I made, but they're not working, but I'm still going to stick with them. No, then you probably will fail. Not definitely, because you still might succeed that way, but it's less likely. There are going to be some times that you're like, oh, I thought that this was going to work, but I'm seeing now that it didn't. So now I have to pivot. And that's a really important part of your goals. So making certain, sacrifices and changes in your life, but then also changes within your goal, I think are important. And so, yeah, anyway, I'm just curious what you guys think about this topic. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that all goals are possible? Do you think that all goals are definitely going to happen if you stick with them? Because all I'm really talking about is possible. Are they possible? And I really do think that most goals are possible. I would even argue that all goals are possible once they hit the goal step, not just the idea step, once they hit the goal step. Once you actually know that it's within your control and you understand like what steps you have to take and that kind of stuff, I do think that they're all possible, except for the rare circumstances where you might have to quit. But then if you give up, you'll never know if you actually could have achieved it or not. I'm just saying, you'll never know, but you still might not, but I just think it's possible. And I just think that focusing on the possible is way more important and way more helpful than focusing on the, it probably won't work anyway. Because if you focus on the, it probably won't work anyway, then you're not actually going to put the effort into it that it actually would take for it to become possible. Making big changes in our life take a lot of effort. So if we kind of talk ourselves into thinking that they're not going to work, then you're just living in your comfort zone, so you probably won't hit those goals. So anyway, again, I'm gonna have a lot of goals videos on this channel, but I just had the idea today. I'm like, wait, do I think that all goals are possible? And I really do, except for, again, those couple circumstances that I mentioned, but I really do think that most of them are really possible. And the goal might seem crazy to other people, but it doesn't matter. If I have a goal right now, if I wanna be a marine biologist, if I told anyone, they'd probably be like, what? That's out of left field. What are you talking about? But it's possible. Would it be really hard? Yeah. Have I taken a science class in college? No. Have I been out of college for 15 years? Yeah. But it's possible. It's possible to do it. It would take a lot of sacrifices, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of switch of focus of my life, but it's possible. And so if you know it's right for you and you know that it's something like in your gut that not only you want to do, because not everything we want to do should be a goal, right? But if you want to do it and you know it's right for you, you know God wants you to do it, you know it's good for you and your family, it's not hurting anyone else, that kind of stuff, then work on it. See what happens. Work on it. Put yourself in the position where it can succeed. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this topic in the comments. I would love to hear. And again, I really hope that you're subscribed to this channel. I love talking about all this kind of mindset stuff. I think about it all the time and I talk about it with my friends. And so I really do hope that you are enjoying this channel so far. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I guess that's going to be it. Thank you again for watching and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.